We're gonna.
Alright, first and foremost, I want to say
Kahala Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai ba Shem Bakudash.
double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And salutations to the elect, preaching His word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. You get 2 Thessalonians 5 and 1.
Yeah. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, or it's like the first, right?
Yeah, first
The book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, and you said verse 1 to
14.
okay. The book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 1, it says, "But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall cometh as a thief in the night."
So you know what, man? When to people who kind of shrug us off when we say the Most High is coming soon, it's coming soon, it's coming soon, and they shrug us off, is because the Most High hasn't given them the awareness of the environment that they live in. Because when the scriptures say that it's not needful for, I think who wrote that? Paul. It wasn't needful for Paul to write the time unto us, was because we are aware of the times that we live in.
Yeah.
So with being aware of the times that we live in, we're gonna know off of that Yahushua is coming soon, or really that Yahushua is coming soon.
Yeah.
But everybody else that's not in the truth, they're more living in their own world, living in their own bubble. So they're not gonna be aware of their surroundings. And because they're not aware of their surroundings, they won't be aware of when Yahushua comes. Really, we're talking about Israel.
I got a scripture for you. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 16, from verse 3. You know? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16. I start from verse 1. It says, the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting, desiring him that he would show them a sign from heaven, a sign from when Yahweh is going to return.
Yeah.
And this is what the Lord said, because it's in red. And it says, he answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times?
That's crazy.
Right? Because you got people that know what the weather's going to be like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, they
a
can
week
tell.
from now, right?
Oh, it's going to be raining and the clouds are dark.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what Yahweh said. Ye hypocrites, man. You guys can discern, the signs of the heavens, like of the sky, but you can't discern, the signs of the time when Yahweh is going to come. Right?
Yeah.
Which is a very, very good point, man.
It is,
The Lord put them in their spot.
Yeah, that's
Because
very true.
back then, they were able to tell if it was going to rain tomorrow.
Yeah, they didn't
And,
have...
and imagine now, right?
Yeah,
With
yeah.
with the HARP technology and so
Yeah,
on and on,
yeah.
where you guys can't tell when the Lord Yahweh is coming back. Right?
That's crazy, man.
Right?
See, that's crazy.
And it says, right? It says, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas, and he shall let them and depart, and he shall left them.
And that's where we are right now, where we have a wicked and adulterous generation, who seek for a sign. Is how many Israelites, that's why Israel goes to church. Or that's why Israel follows some kind of doctrine of some sort, because within themselves they're looking for an answer of the state that they're in, and of the state of their environment, which is the world. That's why in Romans 11:7 it says, for some, roughly paraphrasing, for some has been looking for, but the elect have obtained
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
In a rough paraphrasing, that's
Yeah.
exactly the time we live in right now.
Exactly. And I got a scripture, going back to what you were saying about how our people don't think that the Lord's coming back very soon. Or they're pretty much saying that it's not going to happen, in the near future here. They're thinking about it that it's going to happen, pretty much hundreds and hundreds of years from now. And some of them don't even believe that the Lord's coming back.
Yeah.
It's the book of Ezekiel chapter 12 verse 25. For I am the Lord Yahweh, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and it will will perform it, said the Lord Yahweh power. Okay, and this is the point. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come. And he prophesies of the times that are far off. That's what our people think, man. They think that the vision that we're seeing is not for many days to come, man. Okay, and that, whatever we're prophesying is for a far time, man. It's not going to happen very soon, right? And this is what the Lord said. Therefore say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shall power. There shall none of my words be prolonged anymore, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord Yahweh. Power.
That's right. That's right. That's why it's going to hit them like a thief in the night.
Yeah.
Because they won't listen. Really, it's just because they won't listen. They won't listen and they won't look. They won't listen to the prophets, the men that are out here speaking the truth to them. And they also won't pay attention to the signs that Esau be giving them in the movies and in the news.
Yeah.
It's like you'll watch a movie. Jake will watch a movie like what's it called, Avengers, and take no mind to it and not understand that Thanos is just Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
That story of an alien coming to take over the world and subdue the human race is the same story in the Bible. So our people are stubborn and really dumbfounded. That's why they're called masses. The word mass means dead.
Dead, yeah. Exactly.
Sleep.
And going back to that movie that you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
In the last one, pretty much.
Endgame?
Yeah, no, like the one before, the Endgame. When he came into the scene, he said that he was going to put everything back in its natural order. You know what I mean? He said that that this place is wicked, and that he needs to put it back in its natural order, man. Which is what Yahweh has come back to do, man. Because this planet, this earth right now, being ruled by the so-called white man, the devil. Okay, the Lord has to put it back in its natural state, man. Because the earth.
I know you guys talking about the word. I know.
Because the earth is mourning, man. The trees are getting cut down every fucking day, bro. Which the trees, it brings us oxygen, man. How the hell are you going to cut, an energy source like that?
We even pollute the waters. A lot of these places a lot of these islands that have Jacob whatever in it. A lot of these islands, that's why when you travel to a place that's like surrounded by water, they get you to take a bunch of vaccines and a bunch of tests before you travel, because these places that are surrounded by water usually have the most illnesses in the place, because most of their food comes from the water. The majority of the food comes from the water, but the water's polluted. So of course they're going to be sick. Like all of these islands like Jamaica, Mexico, all these places that are surrounded by water, 60 to 80% of their food is from the water, and the water's poisons.
Yeah, and also like just like in the ghettos, we have the ghettos being called the projects, and they're called projects for a reason, because Esau is actually studying these different exactly, right. He literally put a situation where He would give our people, I'm a third class, I'm a third class education, take the father out of the household, and he studies these things for years and years and years to see what is the outcome. How are these people going to adapt? That's
how well does our mechanism work?
Exactly, man. And
We are their test subjects.
exactly, and you go back, and saying that a lot of these food come from these waters, are polluted, and it goes to show that like these vaccines, that are being pushed on people, man. Okay, if you're being forced to take something, you should not. Okay, pretty much, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna willingly, man.
Yeah.
You gotta think about, like, why the fuck are they trying to force me to take these vaccines?
Exactly.
Man?
Why is there such a big push?
Yeah, like one of my coworkers said that I'm pretty much at the hospitals. A lot of these nurses, majority of these nurses, in order for them to advance, to the next step, or in order for them to keep their jobs, they have to take these vaccines, man. And one of my coworkers' wife, I'm a pretty much, I'm in a state of not accepting that, and like she's facing, there's a lot of friction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which goes to show, hey man, there's,
frowned upon
right?
when you don't do that.
Exactly, there's something wrong, man. There's something wrong. But Esau likes to study our people, man. He likes to put our people in situations, like these, man. Going back to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 2. It says, "For yourself know perfectly." You remember that, yeah? They only come out in the summertime.
Yeah, man. They're not real demons.
The same demon comes out in the summertime. It's not in season, and
It's
it's out of season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Those enjoying the weather.
But,
Yeah.
and it says, "For yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." That's right. So we know that it's going to happen as a thief in the night, not for us, but for majority of the people. Hence why we're out here telling the people, hey man, wake up. Otherwise, when your house returns, you're going to be asleep and it's going to be on you.
And also that's why we cut people off, man.
Yeah.
Anybody who's not, really, this is not. And I got this from Apostle Bar. It makes so much sense, man.
You got to be with brothers that are like-minded.
Exactly,
I like
man.
that,
You know what I mean? Like, if you're, we're all in the world, but if you're not with a brother that's like-minded, this is a conversation high and by. That's it. Because you have to be like, you're better off alone with what you know and the vibrations that you're emanating than to be with someone who's not in the truth.
And you're always
now,
fake.
Yeah, now you have to be fake, so now you have to dull down your vibration just so their vibration can be more susceptible to you. And you know what? You can't be so naive to think that, the Most High is with me, so I'm not going to catch whatever demon. Listen, the scripture said don't tempt the Most High.
Yeah.
So if you don't have to be surrounded by people who are not in the truth, why would you be around them?
That's
Unless a part of you, a small part of you, which should be carnal, is actually affiliated with what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's black or white. You know what I mean? That's why, like, when the Apostle Paul made that video where it says, "We're alone but not alone," it's very true.
Yeah.
You're only not alone because there's other brothers in this truth.
Yeah.
But if you're not with those brothers, be by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Lord is pretty much putting us in a state of mind where being alone is peaceful.
It's peaceful.
I fucking love being by myself, bro. Like, I love that shit, bro. Like, when I come home from work and I'm by myself, bro, I have the best time ever, bro. Why? Because I get to read, I'm gonna do a video, I get to focus, I get to listen to just some beautiful music, man. And just focus, have my wine, and watch a, like a movie, like, you know what I mean? Like, watch something, that's edifying. It's beautiful that way, man.
It is.
It's honestly beautiful that way, man. And, that's why exactly, the Lord, that's why, he told us to be like soldiers, man. Which, the word soldier goes out to the word, I'm a
Soldier?
Which, when you're solitary, you're on your own, solo.
Yeah, solo,
I'm solo, I'm by myself. That's where that word comes from, man, solitary, And it's a beautiful thing because once all hell breaks loose, majority of us are going to be on our own.
Yeah.
And we're gonna know how to adapt, okay? And we're gonna know how to deal with that because the Lord's already, training us up, for that time right now.
You know what's crazy to add on to what you're saying too? And like this is when the Most High has mercy on you, and this is when you're supposed to be alone. Now I'll speak from experience of my own self, where there was a time where I was around people who weren't in this truth, and I didn't have to be around them. And I thought that I was like, you know what? Well, I'm still doing the work, I'm still doing videos, so I'm protecting myself. Eventually, when I was alone, I found myself doing things that I would do when I was with them.
Yeah.
Then I started to realize, like, holy crap,
Yeah.
whatever was on them
Yeah,
it was influenced on me. And it's not like it just popped up that day. It was there the very first moment I was with them, but it didn't grow. It didn't grow to the point where I would be able to notice it, because that's how it works. It's like a seed. You hang around with those kind of people, or you're around those kind of people when you don't have to. Because I know that when you're around people that are not in this truth, and you have to be because of your job, well, the Most High has you protected, But if you're around people and you don't have to be with them, the Most High is not going to protect you from that, because what's going to happen is there's going to be a seed, and that seed is going to blossom into an action, and if you don't cut it off at the action, then eventually it's going to be permanent into who you are. The scriptures say that the Most High, I forgot what scripture it was, but they roughly paraphrasing, the Most High opened up to lust that was of their heart, that was already in their mind.
Yeah, that's in the book of the book of Romans, the first chapter.
Yeah, where he only allowed them to consume the demons that were already in them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why you can't blame it on the Most High, because you voluntarily put yourself in that environment to be entered in by a spirit that's not Yahushua.
Yeah, that's right. The book of Philippians chapter 2 verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind.
Yes. And that's why like if you're around people you don't have to be around, one or two things are gonna happen. You're either you have to dumb yourself down just to tolerate them, or you're gonna get in fight with them because you're not gonna stand for what they're talking about.
That's right. Verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now, much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Your own, man, by yourself. It's fear and trembling, man. You constantly, like you were just saying earlier, the deer in the headlight reference. You have to be, it's truth. You got to be like a deer in the headlights. You got to be constantly aware of what you're around, what you're reading, what you're looking at, what you're watching.
Yeah.
Because this place, man, Most High hasn't even opened up our minds to what's like. If the Most High went like this, and our minds were open up to the spiritual realm right now in this moment, there'd probably be like 60,000 demons just right in front of us, swarming all over the place.
Yes, hopping from one person to
another person. Yeah, and like I remember that story that the apostle was talking about when the man kept asking to see the spiritual realm.
Oh yeah.
And then I think Apostle Ricard saw him in the train station walking up and down the stairs with fizz coming out of his mouth. He was foaming out of his mouth because he asked for something that he couldn't handle.
Yeah. Hey, and that's the thing too. The brother out there in Mississippi, brother Kazak, he just made a video about the ex, camp leader that was at Dallas.
Okay.
What's his name?
The little Indian that
him, right?
Yeah.
And the name of the Lord can also bug you up because what the brother Kazak went into was that pretty much like I'm an ex-camp leader. He went to Apostle Tahar and he wanted Apostle Tahar to break down the name Yahweh to him, and Apostle Tahar did. And he went home and he said for 5 hours. And after that, he plugged out. And that's, how like, he came, into falling out, man.
Yo, that's
You know?
crazy.
Which, bro, like, the apostles are way out there. Like, what? Yo, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
You can't,
Right? Because, like, what they show is what we can handle.
Yeah,
But,
they don't show us
right?
everything.
They don't tell us every fucking breakdown of the scriptures for a reason, because that some brothers are going to get offended. And you know what? You know what? Like, some of those brothers are of the elect.
Yeah.
And they might get offended.
Yeah.
Which goes to show you, bro, that that there's levels to this thing, man. Just the name of the Lord, man,
That's crazy.
it can bug you out.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to that, to that one ex-camp leader, man. He actually, he wanted to get deep into the name of the Lord, man.
It
Okay?
wasn't for him.
And it wasn't for him, bro. Just the name, he wasn't able to chew on the meat, bro. And he was like, a walking,
Encyclopedia?
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he knew a lot of stuff, bro.
Yeah.
And when the apostle just broke down the name of the Lord to him and he wasn't able to handle it, bro,
That's crazy.
number one, that goes to show you how deep the apostles are. And number two, that goes to show you that, like, we don't know everything, bro.
Stay in your lane,
right? Right? Like, you know everything that the Lord gives you in your portion. Collectively, as a group, because we're one body, we do know everything of the scriptures, man.
Yeah.
100% truth, man.
Yeah.
But
As a body, though.
exactly, but you gotta know your part and be okay with it and move on from there, man.
Man, humility is like a shield against stuff like that. Because that, technically, the reason why he bugged out is he wasn't humble.
Yo,
He
that's,
wanted to know more than he could chew. Like,
that's
humility.
exactly, yeah.
Man, it's crazy, man. There's times, like, and this is how you know, man, like, Yahweh Shai, that's like, when times like this is when I throw up prayers to Yahweh Shai, because it's like, you ever come to a scenario where you're talking to you're watching a brother's video, and this brother's been in the truth like 10, 15 years, or you're watching one of the apostles' video, and then throughout that 30-minute video, you'll probably only understand about 15, 20 minutes of it. The last 10 minutes, you feel it in your spirit. I don't understand what he's kind of talking about, so I want to go deeper. But something kind of tells you, it'll come when it comes.
Yeah.
And you don't. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what? Maybe I should, because if you don't listen to your intuition, you're actually not listening to Yahweh Shai. Because the scripture said that when we started to study this truth and came into this truth in the Revelation 3:16, that he came to sup with us. Knocking at the door, and now he'll sup with us. So now that means the spirit of Yahweh Shai has entered into our body. And intuition, that's intuition. If you look up the word intuition, it means a divine answer. Roughly, if I'm not mistaken, divine answer. So a divine answer from the Most High.
Yeah, like it's a spiritual.
So it says it's like the Most High drops an answer, and you're like, oh, for some reason I know I shouldn't be doing this, and then the scriptures help you logic that out and see why you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
So if you don't listen to your intuition, which is what will keep you humble, you're actually not listening to Yahweh Shai. That's why humility is good.
Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 12. And further by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end, and much study is awareness of the flesh. And right, and so when that guy went, into the name of the Lord for 5 hours, that was much study, and that made his flesh become, weary, which led, to him falling off. Which it all was a plan of the Lord anyways, because, he wasn't, chosen, to be a part of this thing in the long run. He was only chosen to wake up, a few brothers, which a lot of brothers woke up, from watching him, and then the Lord took them out and still kept those brothers in there, and those brothers, are in a higher position now.
See, that's why you gotta fear the Most High, man. You were nothing but a pawn.
Yeah.
Brothers get, certain men get a bunch of knowledge and wisdom, and then they forget that who gave them it.
Yeah.
Forget the mouth that fed them, the hand that fed them.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? We just want to get to the, I just want to get to the kingdom, bro. Like, what is the point of me trying to compare myself with the apostles, or like
Any
the
other
different others,
Yeah.
or any other brother. We're not the same spirit,
Yeah, God.
just chill out. Like, you know what I mean? There's different prophets out there, They weren't fighting, to get a higher position, man.
Yeah.
You know?
And the one that did, it fell out and hung himself.
Exactly. Saul. Saul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saul, I'm a he, I'm a he, like David. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's true. Actually, I'm jealous.
So it goes to show that just stay in a role. We're not all the same spirit. We work for the same power.
Yeah.
Just, do your job, man. If you're, at the job and you were told to answer the phones, man. If you're told to work in the back, and lift heavy things, that's because,
You're built for it.
You're built for it. That's exactly what you're built for it, man. There's a reason why that one guy can't do that, and he's only allowed to answer the phone. It's because if he was put in your position, he wouldn't be able to handle it. And if you were put in his position, you would not be able to handle it because you probably don't have social skills.
Yeah,
Like everything, comes together and it becomes balanced at the end of the day, man. That's why, the scripture talks about the Lord being a just, and balanced power.
Yeah, and a false way to abomination.
Yeah. A false balance is an abomination unto the Lord, man. So, if you go outside of your role, you become false. You become, not a part of that, you become not a part of that balanced peace that the Lord put you in that position. So then he just,
Yeah, you become profane.
Yeah,
outside of the temple.
You're no more needed. It just makes sense that way, right? Go back to 1 Thessalonians, right? Or 2 Thessalonians 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? But ye brethren.
You know what? That's once hell starts to break loose, man. Israel is gonna be looking. Everybody's gonna be looking for a way to escape, whether it be through their title in the world or the money that they have. They're gonna be looking to escape. Funny thing is, Esau is not gonna save anybody but himself. Just like when you watch that show Kingsman.
Yeah.
And they were hiding. Yeah, they were hiding in the mountains, and only the rich people. They were partying in that. They had like the best wine, clinking glasses together, while people in the world were dying.
Yeah, or the same movie, Elysium. Remember that movie?
Elysium, yeah, that's a good example.
Esau literally took himself out there in the heavens, while the so-called, Mexicans, Native Americans, Jake, the Israelites, right? They were here in the earth, and the state of the earth was just destroyed, And guess who won at the end? The people that were at the bottom.
Yeah.
They found their way up there and took all those rich-ass Edomites, and booted them, back down to the earth. They should build, but I will throw down, man. And it says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet of the hope of salvation. For Yahweh Bashimashah hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourself together, and edify one another, even as also ye do. But we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you, and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you, and to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake, and be at peace among yourselves.
You have to, time to time, you have to remember, I never would have came to this truth if the apostles were as diligent as they were.
Yeah.
If they like, yo, I think about us, because we just came to the truth like 5 years ago. The apostles,
25 years ago.
yeah, 35 plus.
Yeah.
You know, and like
Yeah.
they were saying that the world was done in 2000, and what were we doing?
Bro,
We were still in the world.
I
Then.
was like, what? How was I in 2000? I don't even know.
Yeah, we were like kids.
Bro, we were just children,
You
bro.
know what I mean? So imagine if the apostles gave up then, because they easily could have. Because what they got sent to jail, they got put into court. They went through it.
Yeah.
They could have gave up then, and then we never would have woken up to the truth.
That's right.
But you know, because those men, because Yahushua resides in those men, they stay diligent. That is why we're able to keep. That's why we're able to keep growing. Because as soon as they get stagnant, we'll get stagnant. Eventually,
Exactly,
just
because
like a shepherd and his sheep. If he stops moving, they stop moving.
yeah, exactly. Like if the apostles, if they stop edifying us, like their job is to continue and to do more than us. Which helps us continue and move forward.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine if the apostles stopped making videos? Yo, you know what I mean? Like, people are gonna start
Bugging out, yeah.
bugging out.
Yeah, that'd be.
You know? So it's like, though they have a higher position, does not mean that they chill.
Yeah,
They,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they actually do more.
Well, yeah, they do more. Exactly.
You know?
That's that phrase.
With much is required, with much is given, much is required.
Great power comes great
Responsibility,
responsibility.
yeah? The greater thou art, the more humble you should be. And it goes to show you, that the apostles are very, 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 meek, and very humble individuals.
Yeah, they don't. Anytime a brother watching them, and anytime a brother wants to come down to New York just to see them, like yo, to do the work, man.
Yeah.
They need to come down here. We're not celebrities.
Yeah,
It's true.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was
video.
like, okay, yeah, that's very true. Because like, hey, don't get me wrong, I've been planning that for years
Yeah.
too, But when they say that, it's like they don't care about that. It's just about
Yeah.
doing the work. So
Bro,
it's like,
yeah,
okay.
it's like, yo, we're gonna chill in the kingdom
Anyways, yeah.
So we're gonna get to know each other anyways, like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for now, bro, we're all going through hell, man.
Fuck it.
You know, which like it makes things like that make sense to me. Like
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah. Why get excited now? Just keep it mature.
Yeah. Just do your own thing, bro, and we're gonna chill later. That's it. And it says, and to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake, and be at peace among yourselves. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient toward all men. And it says, see that none render evil for evil unto any man, but ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men. Rejoice evermore, pray without ceasing. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yahweh Shai and Yahweh Shai HaMashiach concerning you. Quench not the spirit, despise not prophesying.
Quench not the spirit, man. If your intuition or your spirit is telling you to do something, do it. Don't put it out. Don't question the spirit. It's like take the talent and put it in your back pocket. It's the same thing.
That's right.
You guys, the white guy is the devil, guys?
What?
White man's the devil?
According to the scriptures, yeah, Esau.
I agree.
Yeah, according to the scriptures.
I'm a terrible person.
It's your
But I
honest.
try. I try not to be.
No, not
Like it's not about
it's not really about the color, but what's inside of you. The spirit.
the spirit. So you might look white, on the outside, but your spirit is not actually a white man. Like if that actually makes sense, you know what I mean? Like it's a spiritual thing because, like when you look at it, right, people mingle, right? And you might have a person, that looks white, but when you go back to their forefathers,
Genealogy.
exactly, like when you go back to their line, one of their fathers was probably, like us. Right?
So-called Negro or so-called Mexican. Indian.
Yeah, because this is the thing about the true people Israelites of the scriptures. This is who they're known as, in the scriptures, but this is who they are known as today. You know what I mean?
You want to hope of this line, because if you're not, destruction or slavery for you. Just because these people were under slavery
For thousands,
thousands of years, hundreds of years. So
Law of averages kind of thing, right?
Say it again?
Law of averages kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It has to balance itself out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel you, man.
Yeah.
No, trust me. There was people down here yesterday counting pedestrians walking by, and I was like, oh, they're counting pedestrians, trying to figure out how many bullets to buy. Eh?
Yeah. See? Yeah,
No,
that's crazy.
I'm on top of it, man.
That's crazy.
I was joking, but I was half joking.
Well, every joke has a bit of truth behind it. That's why it's funny.
For sure. I'm gonna go sit down now.
Alright, man, take care.
See you guys.
And it says, verse 21, prove all things, hold fast that which is good, abstain from all appearance of evil.
Yeah.
Right? And it
You guys
says,
ever fucked with DMT?
So, yeah?
DMT? Is that methyltryptamine?
Yeah, no, we never.
I had an ego death when I tried that. Like, I couldn't remember my name, I couldn't remember anything. I had to remember that you can go outside. There's like an up and down, day and night.
Yeah, we're not gonna tamper with that.
Well, maybe you should.
No.
and it says, verse 23, and the very God, Yahweh Bashim Shai of peace, sanctify you wholly, and I pray the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai and I pray God, your whole spirit and your soul and body be preserved blameless unto the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
That's right.
Faithful is he that calleth you, who also will do it.
What verse is that?
That was like only to verse 12.
Okay, you can jump to 2 Timothy 2 and 1.
It's the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 1.
You go sit down, and I've been standing for a long time.
2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 1. It says, though therefore my son be strong in the grace that is in Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Right?
Deep, man, because our power, our strength comes from our humility. Because the more humble we are, the more protection we have from Yahweh Shai. The more proudful we are, the less protection we have.
It's like, yo, like as an ego, and then I'm like, he went down and said, like, I thought he was a white guy.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what I mean? Like, our people are tradition.
Even to this day, see that's true. Even to this day, you still got Jake who actually still believe Yahweh Shai is a so-called Edomite. After all the videos and all the screaming and yelling that brothers be doing out here on the highways, you still got Jake who willingly believe that Yahweh Shai is Edomite.
Yeah, like, in order to fully believe that the Lord, yeah, right? So, yeah, bro. See, like, in order to fully believe, that the Lord, is not a so-called white man, you have to be in the truth, right? Because you literally, you say the Lord's name every single day, you reteach yourself through the Lord, through the Spirit of Yahweh Shai, right? And that will pretty much cleanse you from all the wickedness of the world. But if you're in the world, you're still gonna have that ideal, that idea that the Lord could be a white man, or that the Lord is a white man, you know what I mean? But if you're in the truth, you believe that the Lord is not a white man, bro.
Because our brain's been washed.
Exactly.
Brainwashed.
Through the years of learning, you learn a lot, man. And it says, verse 2, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also? Thou therefore endurest hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Endure hardness as a good soldier. You know? And it says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the strifes of this life.
See? Yo, that's deep, man. Whenever, like, if you ever find yourself basically catching a hell, like, yeah, we're gonna catch hell by our environment, but you get to a certain point where you're catching, the majority of the hell you're catching is from yourself.
Yeah.
It's not from this environment, because when you first come to this truth, of course, the majority of the hell you catch is going to be from your environment. You're still peeling off flesh. But eventually, man, if the majority of your hell is still coming from this environment, like, you need to reevaluate yourself. Because, like we just said earlier, you should be doing everything possible to stay away from people who are not like-minded.
Yeah. And it just
And so
makes
therefore
sense.
therefore you're only dealing with the demons within yourself.
Yeah, the only person that you should be with, that is not like-minded is just probably your woman.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
your woman, really. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You know? And you know what? That's if you have one.
That's if you have it. If you don't have it, buy it yourself.
Yeah.
Very true.
You know?
Yeah,
You know?
very true. Very true.
Yeah. Because the scripture talks about, the unbelieving wife and how that, how much she's going to be delivered, how much through a child there.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not talking about the unbelieving friends. It doesn't say that, or the unbelieving, pretty much, or the unbelieving uncle or auntie. Nah, man.
Your grandma.
It just says wife. Why? Because, she's also a part of you.
Yeah. You're supposed to be one flesh. That's why. It's also why the scriptures say, "Though a hand join hand, the wicked shall not punish."
Yeah.
It's talking about everybody else there.
What is the Lord doing that to people, man? Yo, you know what? Like, I heard this one saying, right? It's like, because of pride, bro, that's what, that is, right? This one saying is like, who's proud? The person, the person that is in the Bugatti, or the person sitting there, or the person sitting there, I'm a garbage, I'm a dumpsters, you know what I mean? And and the answer is they're both equally proud because I'm a that person, that's there, pretty much, that is completely homeless, just bug the hell out. They were told, yo, go wash yourself. Yo, I'm a go do this, I'm gonna go find a job, you know what I mean? But guess what, they were proud, they didn't want to listen, and that's why they're in the state that they're in, man, you know what I mean? So when you see people bugged out of their mind, it's because of pride, bro, There could have been one day where the Lord, tried to tell them, yo, you know what the hell up, man, don't be hanging out with those group of people, But they didn't listen, Of course, they heard these things, from the men out here teaching the word, Of course, they did not listen to these things.
Someone
and then,
in their life told them to
right,
get up and do
right,
something.
exactly. And then a year later, you see that same person come by and they got 10 more legions on them, They got worse. We go to pride, man. Pride is the mother. Yo, that shit can fuck you up. Hey, pride goes before destruction.
Yeah.
And that is what? Destruction of the body physically and mentally and spiritually. You can be spiritually bugged out but healthy in the body, but you're spiritually bugged out, which will lead, to show in the outward appearance.
Yeah.
And it says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. If a man also strive for masteries, yet he is not crowned, except he strive lawfully. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partakers of the fruits. Consider what I say, and the Lord give thee understanding in all things. Verse 8. Remember that Yahushua HaMashiach of the seed of David was raised from the dead according to my gospel, wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds. But the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai is not bound. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sakes, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Yahweh HaMashiach with eternal glory.
You know, that's true. The knowledge of the Most High is not bound, because like anybody can come into this truth and anybody can fall out. So you're not bounded by this truth. You know, you're only it's actually quite the opposite, where this truth doesn't wait for you. You wait for it to come to you.
Yeah, and the truth is everywhere, and that's what it also means, because you got, things, that are hidden. That's why the scripture says what, I'm gonna go out in the streets, because, that's where wisdom is found. In the streets, it's everywhere. You know what I mean? And it says, verse 11, it is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us.
That's right, man. You can't be born in this truth. You got it all the way in, all the way out.
Verse 13, if we believe not, yet he abated faithful, he cannot deny himself. Verse 14, of these things put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord, that they strive not about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers. Verse 15, study to show thyself approved unto the Lord Yahweh Bashim El Shai, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
And that's why, man, you don't speak on things that you haven't searched out. Even if you have a feeling that you're right, you still have to explain why you feel that.
Yeah, you just have to have it's just kind of like,
I
remember when I was in school, when I was in high school, and you had a math problem to answer, right? You have to show your work. You have to literally, write everything down. You can't just say the answer, which is the answer is like, if you think you know something, right? And you just give an answer. No, you have to give, how did you get to that conclusion, right?
Reasoning.
Yeah.
Because usually I used to do this all the time when I was in school. I didn't like school. But when it came to math, you know how you get all the answers from the back of the book?
Yeah.
One time I even copied the answer. You know how sometimes they say answers may vary? I even copied that as the answer. They go, how'd you get that? I'm like, well, because it's what it is. It may vary. You can't explain yourself. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how they usually know you're cheating, because you can't explain yourself. And Jake is notorious for that. They want to be understood, but they don't want to explain. You want to be understood, but not explain yourself. That makes no sense.
Yeah. You gotta have a voice. You gotta be able to speak out. What is bothering you, or what is actually.
And if you can't explain yourself, man, you're to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
That's why the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, he who has rule over his tongue. Should get many. Roughly paraphrasing, should get many things. Roughly paraphrasing like that.
Yeah.
But cause you have to rule. Cause your tongue, that comes out of carnal emotion, pride. You're excited. You want to just say the answer, but you don't think of how you got the answer. When people ask you it takes a lot more wisdom to actually tell someone, I actually don't know what you're talking about, but give me some time, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Because people want to be, higher up, and they want to be the guys who everybody looks up to.
Yeah, people want to be in a position where they want everyone else to know that they know everything.
Yeah. Socrates said something. He said, it's an extreme version of humility, but he said, the only thing I do know is that I know nothing. And that's very true. That's an extreme way of explaining humility, but it's true. A wise, that's how you know you're wise. If you're in a state of always, quote unquote, if you're in a state of not knowing anything, then you're also inadvertently in a state of constantly learning, which always makes you humble.
Yeah, the scripture says what? That even a fool is considered wise when they keep their
Mouth
mouth shut,
shut,
right?
yeah.
Or this, there's just one saying, that I heard in the world that a wise man once said nothing. You know what I mean? He's a wise man. He said nothing.
That's good.
You know what I
That's a
mean?
good one.
You know, you don't always have to,
Speak.
speak. Sometimes your action.
Yeah.
People may know that you're a very stern man just by standing there and not saying anything, and just
Yeah.
being stern.
Yeah, being in your presence.
You know.
You know what? Your intent, which is your spirit, will emanate off of you.
Yeah.
That's why the scriptures say you may know a man by his countenance.
Yeah, a man may be known by his
With
looks.
look,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. If you're emotional, you'll be known.
Yeah, people can
You know?
see that you. Anyway, so with that, we're going to close up. We're going to say,
Kahala Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Ba'akadash.
double honors to the apostles, the elders of great millstone, salutations to the elect, pushing this word, the truth and sincerity across the full corners of the earth,
Yeah.
and death and destruction to the kingdom, and to the wisdom. Shalom.
Shalom.